everybody. I am Anusha from Computer Science Department, working as Assistant Professor in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. In my videos, I am discussing about programming with objects. So I was discussing about the question bank of second unit. Let's move on to the question. Now, list the various type of inheritance in Java. These are the various type of inheritance in Java. First one is single inheritance, wherein we have one level of inheritance. The topmost level is the superclass, and the lower level is the subclass. There is only single level of inheritance. Next is hierarchical inheritance, wherein from one superclass we can derive multiple child classes. Multi-level inheritance, wherein you have more than one level of inheritance. So we have the superclass. From this superclass, subclass 1 is achieved, and from subclass 1 we have subclass 2 achieved. So this subclass 2 will have properties of superclass 1 superclass and the subclass 1. Next is multiple inheritance, wherein this multiple inheritance is achieved using interfaces, wherein there are two superclasses. So these superclasses will be having methods which are abstract, and there will be another class which is implementing these two or more superclasses. So this subclass will obtain all the properties of these two all the different superclasses. And since it is this is achieved using interfaces, multiple inheritance is achieved using interfaces. The methods of this superclass 1 and superclass 2 will be abstract. So the subclass which is inheriting this superclass will have to provide the implementation for these for these methods which it has got from those superclasses. Next is hybrid inheritance, which is a combination of multiple and hierarchical. So here at this point we achieve hierarchical. From one superclass it is getting two other subclasses, and so this could be an interface. So here this should be interfaces, and from these two interfaces we are achieving another subclass. So these are the different types of inheritance. Next, define the term static binding. Static binding, it is determined at the compile time. So static binding occurs during compile time. When the type of the object is determined at compile time, it is known as static binding. If there is any private, final or static method in a class, there is static binding. For example, let's say we are having, next, describe a runtime polymorphism in Java. Runtime polymorphism or dynamic method dispatch is a process in which a call to a overridden method is resolved at runtime rather than compile time. In this process, an overridden method is called through a reference variable of a superclass. The determination of the method to be called is based on the object being referred by the reference variable. So here, let's say we are having a parent class named as bike, and Splendor is a class which is inheriting the bike class. So the bike class is having a method run, and a Splendor class will inherit this run method and it will give its own implementation. Now, inside the main method, we are creating an object, a reference variable of the bike class. That is, bike is the superclass. We are creating a reference variable B of the bike class, and it is made to invoke or point to the object of Splendor class. So that means we are having a bike class. This is the bike class object, and this is the Splendor class object. So using this Splendor class object, we are invoking the run method. Now, since run method is present in both the classes, in bike class and Splendor class, we have the bike method. But this reference variable is invoking the run method of the Splendor class. That means using the reference variable of the parent class, we are trying to access the method of the child class. So this happens at runtime. This happens during runtime, and this is called as dynamic method dispatch. Next, write about abstract class with its syntax. So abstraction is the process of hiding the implementation details from the user. Only the functionality will be provided to the user. In other words, the user will have the information on what the object does instead of how it does. Abstraction can be achieved in two ways, by using abstract classes or by using interfaces. The data abstraction may also be defined as the process of identifying only the required characteristics of an object, ignoring the irrelevant details. To declare an abstract method, we make use of the abstract keyword. So the general form is abstract keyword, the method name, the parameter list, followed by the semicolon. So here the abstract methods will not have any body. So if we are either using abstract classes or interfaces, the class which inherit those classes or interfaces must provide the implementation detail for this particular method. Next, interpret various member access rules in Java. So these are the various access specifiers which is available in Java, which provide access protection. We have the private variable, the default variable, protected, and the public. So when you declare any variable as private, it can access within a class. A class which is within the same package can also access these. When a member is defined as private, only the members of that class can access that particular variable or the member. So it cannot be accessed outside that class. Now, if you declare any variable as default, the member does not have explicit access specification. It is visible to the subclasses as well as to other classes in the same package. That means a class which is available inside the package can access the default members of other classes. And if you define an element as protected, then if you define any member as protected, then this protected variable is mainly happens in inheritance. So if there is a parent class and a child class is present in the same package and in outside a package, so these A and B is in one package, whereas C is in a different package. So if there are any variables which are defined as protected inside A, the classes B and C can access them. It cannot access any other variable other than public. So, and if you define any variable as public, it can be accessed from anywhere in the JDK environment. Next, explain in detail about method overloading with suitable example. Method overloading is a type of polymorphism. It is a compile time polymorphism. If a class is having multiple methods with the same name but different signatures, then it is called as method overloading. There are two ways to overload the method in Java: by changing the number of arguments or changing the data type. Let's say let's take an example. We have a class named adder. There are two methods with the same name but different signature. So in the first add, it is having only two integer variables, but in the second, it is taking three integer variables. So the signature, the number of parameters passed and the type of the parameters passed can be different in case of method overloading. So at this point in the main class, here it is invoking add method of the adder class with two parameters. So it will invoke this and it will return 22. Whereas the second method add is passing three parameters. So it will invoke this and it will add these three members and it will return 33. So this is about method overloading. Next, is it possible to achieve compile time polymorphism in Java? If yes, explain with suitable example. Again, as I have discussed before, compile time polymorphism is achieved by method overloading and operator overloading. If a class has multiple methods with the same name but different signatures, then it is known as method overloading, and it can be achieved by changing the number of arguments or the number of data type and changing the data type. That means by changing the signatures of the method, we can achieve method overloading. List out the types of packages in Java. There are two types of packages. One is user-defined package and the other is built-in package. The user-defined package is the package which the user creates, and the built-in packages are already defined inside Java JDK environment. The examples of built-in packages are Java.IU package, the Lang package, util package, AWT package, etc. So here, if you check the package hierarchy, the Java package is at the topmost level of the built-in package. Then we have the various sub-packages, various packages which is already defined inside it, and these packages will have different classes which can be used for our program designing. Next, list out the advantages of packages in Java. The programmers can define their own packages to a bundle of group of classes or interfaces. It is a good practice to group related classes implemented by you so that the programmer can easily determine that the classes, interfaces, enumeration, and annotations are related. Since the package creates a new namespace, there won't be any name conflicts with the names in the other packages. Using packages, it is easier to provide access control, and it is also easy to locate related classes. So that's all for the second unit question bank discussion. I have used Herbert Shield for the preparation of these slides, and I have referred the Java tutorial point and the Oracle website for preparing my slides. Thank you for watching my video. That is all for today. Let's continue in the next class.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.